Once upon a time, in a quiet suburban town, there existed an eerie legend that chilled the bones of those who dared to speak of it, the legend of the black screen scary stories. It was said that if you gathered in a dimly lit room, turned off all the lights, and stared into a black screen, the boundary between the living and the supernatural would blur. Whispers of the unknown would seep through the pixels, and the veil between reality and nightmare would thin. Few were brave enough to embark on this spine-tingling journey, but curiosity has a way of gripping the hearts of even the most cautious souls. One night, a group of friends, Sarah, Mark, Emily, and Jake, decided to put the legend to the test. Armed with nothing but a laptop and their nervous laughter, they settled into the darkness of Sarah's living room, ready to delve into the abyss beyond the black screen. The room was silent as they gathered around the laptop. Sarah, the group's self-proclaimed fearless leader, took a deep breath and opened a web page that promised to be the gateway to the most terrifying tales ever told. The black screen flickered, and the atmosphere grew heavy with anticipation. As the first story unfolded on the screen, the friends found themselves drawn into a chilling narrative about a haunted mansion at the edge of town. Shadows seemed to dance across the walls, and the air became colder with each passing sentence. The storyteller described ghostly whispers that echoed through the corridors, sending shivers down the spines of anyone who dared to enter. Sarah tried to maintain a facade of bravery, but her eyes betrayed her fear. The black screen seemed to absorb the dim light of the room, leaving them surrounded by an impenetrable darkness. Mark nervously chuckled, glancing around as if expecting something to materialize in the shadows. The second story was even more ominous. It spoke of a cursed painting that had driven its owners to madness and despair. As the narrator recounted the painting's malevolent history, the friends couldn't shake the feeling that unseen eyes were watching them from the depths of the black screen. Emily, the most skeptical of the group, scoffed at the tales, dismissing them as mere fiction. Jake, however, couldn't shake the unease that settled in his chest. He felt a subtle vibration beneath his fingertips as he rested them on the laptop's keyboard, as if the stories were seeping into the very essence of the device. Despite the growing tension, the friends forged ahead, immersing themselves in stories of vengeful spirits, ancient curses, and unspeakable horrors. The black screen became a portal to a realm where nightmares bled into reality. The stories blended seamlessly, creating a tapestry of fear that gripped their souls. As the final story reached its climax, the room plunged into absolute darkness. The laptop screen went black, and the friends found themselves enveloped in a suffocating silence. Panic seized their hearts, and they fumbled in the darkness for a glimmer of light. Suddenly, a whisper echoed through the room, a chilling, disembodied voice that seemed to emerge from the very air they breathed. "You've opened the gateway," it murmured, sending shivers down their spines. "Now, you must face the consequences." The friends clung to one another, their breaths shaky and shallow. A cold wind swept through the room, extinguishing the feeble glow of a candle they had lit earlier. The black screen seemed to pulsate, casting an otherworldly glow that revealed distorted shadows on the walls. Terrified, they tried to close the laptop, but the screen remained stubbornly black. The whispers intensified, weaving a tale of their own fears and insecurities. The room warped and twisted, and reality became a fractured mirror reflecting their deepest nightmares. In the darkness, ghostly figures materialized, vague, indistinct shapes that hovered on the edge of perception. Sarah, Mark, Emily, and Jake were paralyzed with fear as the figures drew closer, their features twisted into grotesque masks of anguish. Time lost its meaning as the friends became entangled in a nightmarish dance with the spectral entities. The black screen served as a window into a realm where fear itself took form, feeding on the vulnerabilities of those who dared to gaze into its abyss. As the night wore on, the friends felt their sanity slipping away, replaced by a maddening dread that clung to their souls. The black screen became an inescapable void, a prison for their deepest fears and regrets. They were trapped in a never-ending nightmare, where the line between reality and hallucination blurred into an indistinguishable haze. In the small hours of the morning, a neighbor passing by Sarah's house heard distant screams and frantic pleas for release. The police were called, But when they entered the living room, they found it empty. No trace of Sarah, Mark, Emily, or Jake remained. The laptop sat on the table, its black screen mocking the investigators with an eerie stillness. The legend of the black screen scary stories persisted, whispered among the townspeople as a cautionary tale. Some believed the friends had crossed a threshold into a dimension of pure terror, forever lost in the abyss beyond the black screen. Others dismissed it as an elaborate hoax, a tale spun by imaginative minds seeking to thrill and terrify. The laptop, now an artifact of the supernatural, found its way into the hands of a new owner. The legend lived on, a spectral echo that lingered in the darkness, warning those who dared to peer into the black screen's abyss. The townspeople, haunted by the mysterious disappearance of Sarah and her friends, learned a chilling lesson about the fine line between curiosity and the unknown, a lesson that would resonate through the generations as a whispered cautionary tale.